Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. My name's Matt. I'm the Awakening Angler, and I'm here to give you your morning fishing report. Hey, if you're tuning in and you like what we do here every day, and you like my channel, please subscribe. July is going to be Subscriber Appreciation Month, and we need every single one of our subscribers to go out and get just one. Just one. Can everybody go out and get just one subscriber? Just one. If everybody got one, we'd be double. I'd be rich. If I had $1 million, I'd be rich. So, here's the morning fishing report. My friends Wally and Scott came down and fished with me again this morning. If you remember, Wally and Scott were the two fine gentlemen that fixed the motor a couple weeks ago. Offshore outboards in Jackson, New Jersey. They were up again. They have a place in Sandy Pond. They were up again. So I said, hey, come on out. Let's go fishing. Now, I haven't told anybody else this, but I told Wally this because he's my trusted mechanic. I said it's had a little hesitation at the top, you know, when I've been running. And you'd be up on plane and all of a sudden she'd go, it wouldn't die. And if all of you guys remember, I've been telling myself that there's something fuel related, and I thought I'd checked everything. Well, my grandpa used to always say, if you don't learn something new every day, it's a wasted day. I learned something new today. So it did it to us this morning. Normally when your mechanic, when you tell him what's going on, he can never experience it firsthand. My mechanic got to experience it firsthand, and he immediately went, okay, well, there's going to be two ways to figure this out fairly quickly. So we were out there this morning. We were on our way out, 4,500 RPMs, wah, 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 blah, 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 blah. He said, all right, we'll fix that when we get in. Okay. We get back in. He took the connection apart on the tank side of the primer ball. All right. Now I had taken the primer ball out because he put a primer ball back in, and when we were running, and as soon as I said, and it felt that he went right back, and the primer ball was suctioned right down like it had done before. And so I kept thinking that that was an aspiration thing. It was something was keeping it from being able to breathe, and it was vapor locking. Well, turns out that wasn't the case, because I could blow through all of the breather lines and all that, and it was frustrating me. We took the line off on the motor side, because the motor was doing what it was supposed to do. It was sucking down that primer ball, which means it was asking and drawing fuel, trying to get fuel. So we took the primer bulb, the line on the motor side of the primer ball, so the primer ball was still hooked up to the fuel line to the tank, and we were squeezing the primer ball back into the fill tube in the boat. I couldn't get it to squeeze. It wouldn't come back up. It was stuck. So Wally goes, okay, well, we've just narrowed down our problem. It's between the primer ball and the tank. So we get the tank. I get the line undone from the tank, and we check the tank. We check the line itself. Line's clear. Primer bulb opens right up, comes right back when you squeeze it. Boom, good. Okay, so now it's in the tank. So now we take one of the barbs off. There's a 90 degree where it goes into the pickup tube. It comes out like this into a 90. So I took the barb off on the top side. It was clean, no problem. I got the pickup tube to come out of the tank, blew through it, perfectly clean. And I'm like, now what, you know? And he goes, let me see that for a second. And he takes a pair of pliers, and the tube disconnects from the top part. I'm like, I didn't know that. So I unscrew it. There is an inline cartridge screen filter at the top of that pickup tube. And as soon as you unscrew it, you can see stuff all around it. I pull it out, and it was just gunked up like you wouldn't believe. So it took that 3/8 or probably almost, well, 3/8, 7/16 inside diameter line, which should put a lot of liquid through it, and it necked it right down to about 1/8 of an inch at best. So I took that little screen out, I cleaned it all off, I cleaned the screen out, we put it back together, and as soon as he saw that, he goes, Wally says, he goes, there's your problem. He goes, I guarantee it, that's your problem. He goes, now there may still be more other stuff in there, and I'm going to go and get another inline canister filter again, so I can see it. But he goes, you don't have to check it again unless it bogs down on you. Now there might still be more stuff in the tank that's working its way up, but the very first thing I thought of was, and I had that little bit of a pit in my stomach, and I don't know if this is true, and I'm not going to beat myself up over it, but 4.5 years ago or 5 years ago now, when I started this rehabilitation project and the floor was completely out of this boat, I took the tank down to the welder here down the street from me, because there was a couple spots where it was pitted and really brittle, and he patched it and pressure tested it, and the tank was fine. And I cleaned the tank. I physically put the solution you put in there in the soap, and I dumped it out, and I let it dry for 2 weeks before I had it fixed. So I was pretty confident all along that I didn't have stuff in the tank. Now maybe that's changed, but my thought is that maybe it hasn't changed, and maybe that crap has been in the tank and in that screen filter for all these years, and I didn't even know about it. So the original motor that was on here, and this motor, and all the work that I've had done with it because it wouldn't run right. Now, Wally's like, there were other things wrong with your motor that I fixed, and the flywheel and those rare earth magnets, it fires up every time now, first push, boom, no problem. It never did that before. It starts and sounds great. So I'm super, super excited. I may take it back down the river right now for a quick rip and just see, because there was a lot of gunk in there, and I mean gunk. So my guess is that was my issue all along, and the motor was fine. I knew it was fuel related. I just didn't know that even existed to check it. You live and learn. And I learned something new today, valuable. And the first thing Wally said to me, he goes, oh, I thought that was an aftermarket pickup. You said he had fixed it. And I go, no. So one thing was, I gave him incomplete information. I didn't tell him originally about the old primer bulb that I had taken out. I guess I didn't think it was important. And he said, because he said to me, he goes, if you would have told me that first, he goes, it would have changed everything in how I was looking. He goes, but we still fixed things that needed to be fixed. Okay, what more can you ask for? So, yay, hooray. My guess is everything's good. So, I love it. I love you guys. Oh, fishing report. These mother effing fish, I'm telling you right now, a bunch of mother fluffers. Every walleye in our lake, its mother is a carp. I swear. I found them. I found them good this morning. The best picture I've had in over a week. I mean, paved with them. Now, everything we saw was on bait. Now, and I don't know if that bait down there was bugs or whether it was bait fish. We caught 2 walleyes, 1 keeper, bunch of perch and sunfish and sheep's head and other things. But those walleyes did not want to go, and we drifted over that same, I shouldn't say the same school. I moved around a little bit, but I had plenty of fish in this area, and either I didn't find the active ones or we couldn't get them to go, and we threw everything at them. Blades, jigging wraps, casting spoons, you name it, we chucked it. And it didn't work. Water temp out there was 73 degrees. We have an east wind, east-southeast wind. It was a perfect chop. It was beautiful. A little bit of sprinkle rain. You know, the conditions were right. It was overcast. I thought for sure we were going to beat the snot out of them once I found them like that. Every single time I lifted the rod tip, I just couldn't. I couldn't believe it wasn't heavy and there wasn't a fish there. So I don't know. I'm out tomorrow morning with my good friend Paul Messina for our weekly, now Monday morning get together, fishing session, strategizing, hanging out. So I'm going to do that tomorrow morning, and then I'm going to come home and we got to start decorating the boat for the big boat parade tomorrow at 2 p.m. here on the Oneida River in Brewerton. I hope everybody comes over and joins in on the boat parade. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can just imagine it's going to be a lot of fun. I've never done it before, but it's going to be a hoot. So come on out and join us. The town of Brewerton in Central Square here along the river will be loaded with people. Every restaurant and bar is going to be open tomorrow night. There'll be food trucks at the pier, so come on down and support my friends at the pier. And get ready for fireworks tomorrow night. One of my favorite things all summer long. Eating watermelon and watching fireworks. I love both of those things. So, all right. I went long today, but I had some things to say. I wish I had more to say about how great the fishing was, but it wasn't. It wasn't. So, we'll give it a shot tomorrow. Fishing's fishing, right? I love you guys. Thank you very much for joining me. And as always, keep your tip up.